Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today we are back with the Deftones, and this time I'm going to be reacting to their album White Pony, which I think just so happens to be one of their most popular albums. I'm very much looking forward to it, as I loved Around the Fair, as most of you have seen already. And if you haven't seen me react to that, then do check it out. It's on my channel. If you would like to see this reaction uncut, then do go over to my Patreon, and it's completely uncut over there. And I've got different tiers that you can choose from if you want to make song requests or album requests. Follow me on Instagram, I shall follow you back. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the video. Just all the things. All the links are in the description, you can go check them out. But anyway, let's get into it. First song is Back to School, and in brackets it says Mini Maggit. I wonder if I'll find something out about why it has that in the bracket, but I won't look into it yet. I'll just listen to the song. I have heard the song Back to School. Well, it was like always on Kerrang and Scuzz and, you know, music channels like that when I was growing up. So this is really one of the songs I know the most by Deftones. I have realised that, like, it's not their favourite song, or it was a song they did to I don't know, was it to like get back at the record label they were on, or I can't remember, but I think I'll find out after listening. But I want to give my honest opinion on it without too much outside stuff, you know what I mean? Outside influences. So yeah, let's get into it.
So
beautiful, actually. Wow. Ooh. Why don't you run back to school? I don't remember that bridge. I only remember the chorus. I love the soft vocal with the grittier one next to each other. Nice. Why don't you run? Nice. Cool. It's actually quite interesting. Actually, a lot of songs in the 2000s, early 2000s, the singles, like the top songs, would be at the start of the album. Like, I know very different artists, but when I was reacting to like Britney, all the singles were pretty much in the top like 4 or 5 songs. And then you might get one kind of ballady single at the bottom. But no, it's interesting seeing it cross over to rock music, metal music as well. Yeah, interesting. But it was quite cool to hear that again, because I did really like that when I was a kid. And I just love his vocals on it, really good. I like the little tempo changes in the vocals too. You get the back to school, which is such a drag, you know, which he commonly does. But then you got the, so why don't you run, so why don't you run? You know, giving it like a bit more of a faster feel, which is really cool. Yeah, I actually really enjoy that song. And I didn't realise there was so many different layers to it, like the bridge, 2 bridges actually. The first bridge is So Transpose, or Stop Your Lies. Second bridge is All You Are, Now I'm on the Next Page. I liked in that bit that he was like, Oh, you are, like very soft, and then now I'm on the next page, you know, and the soft and the gritty being next to each other just gives great dynamic, and so on like that. Let's have a look at the about section. Back to School, in brackets Mini Maggit, is an abridged version of the song Pink Maggit, which was released as both a 3-song single and an 8-song EP. Commercially successful and achieving radio play, Maverick Records decided to release the band's third album, White Pony, with the song as a bonus track. Okay. And this is something that is said here by Chino. He has said, "This album right here is not the album that we turned into the label. As far as we're concerned, the first edition was the record. Done." Then they talked us into re-releasing it with another song on it. And it's not like I'm against the song or whatever, but I like the sequence we had when we first turned it in. Okay, so, that's kind of where the drama lies, sort of thing. When this version came out, a little part inside all of us felt like, we just totally compromised. And I know that a lot of our fans felt bad about it too. Back to School was a mistake. A calculated song that had been built up with only one aim in mind. It should be a single. Back to School was released because I was an idiot. So he just didn't really ever want it to be on the album, really. He just wanted it to be a single release. When it's your music, you're particular about how you want songs to be placed and so on, and what songs you have on that album. And he might not have felt like Back to School fit the rest of the album. I haven't heard the rest of the album yet, but I'm imagining that's it. And with it not running smoothly like that, to an artist, that could be like very, very frustrating. Sorry, I'm trying to sit with my shoulders back a little bit more because of my back problems, but it's kind of impossible. I might have to put a pillow behind me or something to force it, because I'm sick of being a hunchback of Notre Dame, you know? No one can be Hunchback of Notre Dame apart from Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I'm here coming for his brand. What am I even saying? Okay, anyway. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. Oh, look at me, I actually look like a decent human being. And I actually look, without being like this all the time. Yeah, all right. Anyway, I wanted to prove something to the record company. Months later, after White Pony was released, they wanted us to do a new version of Pink Maggit. They said we lost our heaviness and there were no more singles on the album. First, I wanted to stick this idea up my arse, but then I thought, I'm going to show those effers how easy it is to create a hit single, and so I rapped a hip-hop part on that song. We shortened it, and half an hour later, the hit single was ready to roll on. Oh, okay. So after White Pony was released and it had Back to School on it, they wanted a new version of it, I guess. And he's saying he rapped it like a hip hop song, just as like a kind of like, oh, this is what you want? Heavy? I'll make it hip hop. You know, just changing a genre in a way. He just did a little cheeky thing to get back at them, I guess. I'll have another look at what else he said here though as well. In an interview with Roxanne magazine, singer Chino Moreno gave the following background on where the song came from. I remember the record had already been out for a while and had some radio play, but they wanted a second single and they didn't think there were any more on the record. I said, well, how do you know? Because you haven't tried with any others. Well, yeah, that's true. I remember them sitting me down and putting me out. Papa Roach and Linkin Park had sold 6 million albums while we hadn't sold a tenth of that. To me, they were saying they wanted some rap rock. Okay, yeah, that's cool. And at the time, I was already way over making music like that. Okay, yeah, he was like over the new metal sort of style, especially with the rap rock kind of new metal, which very much most new metal had rap in it, right? When you think of Korn and Linkin Park. No, yeah, Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit. But my response was no way at first, and then they pointed out the chorus of Pink Maggit was so great, so they asked me to rewrite it as a 3-minute song. They kept hounding me about, so I was like, watch this, because formulaic songs are so easy to write. In one day, I rewrote the music and the lyrics. We recorded, and then I said, is that what you were talking about? And then they said they were going to release it with a video, get Paul Hunter, who directed Eminem videos, to do it. So at that point, I was like, whatever, I'll trust you, I don't care. When a record company gets behind you like that, it's hard to say no, because the years prior, they wouldn't give us the time of day. So the fact that they wanted to push things and pay for things was great. I look back on it now, and I don't regret it. It's not a terrible song, but the only thing I made a point on was that when it came to do the reissue, they reissued the original record without that song on. It came out and it did what it did. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. Sometimes when I read out loud, I can't like get all the information properly, but I'm guessing he made a different version of Back to School and they liked it. But then when the album came out, they used the original version of it. Am I getting that right or am I getting that wrong? Please let me know, because I'm a bit confused. I understand him saying, like, you know, when the record label was like backing us, it's hard to say no because like we're finally getting some attention from them and getting what we want, you know, even if it's not for the song that they want. I don't know. How weird. And also, I guess I've not heard another version. Do you know what I mean? Of this song. Or maybe this is the other version. I don't know. I don't know. I guess there was a rap in this one. Stop that, quit it, all that, quit. You ruined it, you did. Now grab a notebook and pen. Start taking notes on me and everyone who's on the top. You think we're on the same page, but I know we're not. I'll be the man, watch your backpacks, pens and pencils. I guess that's the rap part or something. But because he does it in such a cool way, it doesn't... I mean, I love new metal with the rap and rock. I love that. But I'm just saying, like, I guess I didn't really think of that as a rap. Or is there a version where it is a bit more of a hip-hop feel? Please do let me know, because I'm a little bit like, wait, what? I'm a little bit confused here. But yeah, interesting little bit of drama around it. I doubt that the rest of the songs will have that much drama around them. So let's get into it. Next song is called Feiriceira. I don't know if it says that. Feiriceira. Whatever, you get it. Nice! Ending on that. It's such a full stop, isn't it? It's like, right, end. I've let you go. Ah, that's it. Yeah, it feels like I've let you go. There's a drop off. Interesting. Oh, sorry. Had a bloody shuffle as well. Hate that. But yeah, sorry. I was focusing, but I was trying to clean my glass at the same time because I was realising I put my glasses on. I always forget to put my glasses on. Or sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll try without the glasses first. And then I'm like, no, you're in denial. You need glasses. I've only recently started wearing glasses, like had an eye test and all that. So I'm a bit like, you know, I wear them when I'm editing, but when I'm doing a video, sometimes I just don't want to wear glasses, you know what I mean? It doesn't always suit the vibe. I mean, look how hilarious I look. But anyway, interesting lyrically. Plus I had such a funny thought during this. I was like, why is it weirdly reminding me of Bjork? Like, just hear me out. I think it's like the very drawn out kind of words, you know, lyric, singing the lyrics in a drawn out way. And then the bits where he would kind of, it would kind of recoil into like a, I'm her new cool meat. Like he's very like, cool meat. You know, very much does like emphasis on the consonants, whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, and the way he would do it in a delicate way, then come in harder again, and then delicate, pull back, because Bjork actually does so much of that. She sings her lyrics, like one word can be literally like 10 seconds long, and then like, she could do like big belting moments, but then really interesting, you know, that like a very pronounced and almost theatrical, you know. And he is telling a story a little bit here, so it feels like he's really trying to get the words across. It's so interesting. I love the sound of it. Says, fuck, I'm drunk, I'm on my knees. The police stopped chasing. I'm her new cool meat. She pops a trunk and she removes me. And a machine takes pictures of us. Now my jaw and my teeth hurt. I'm choking from gnawing on the ball. Oh, okay. It seems a little bit like a kidnap situation, but it's something a little bit kinky about it. It's hard to explain. I mean, it sounds really bad, but I don't know quite yet if it is that bad. But yeah, he's literally saying stuff like, a woman's kidnapped him, basically, and the police aren't chasing him anymore, so she opens the trunk. But she says, a machine takes pictures of us. That's interesting. What's the machine? And who is us? Is it him and the woman that has kidnapped him? But then he says, now my jaw and teeth hurt. I'm choking from gnawing on the ball. I don't know. I'm interested though. Anyway, the hook says, and just before I come to move to the back of the car, she made me touch the machine. New murderer, FM. Like, what does that mean? Like, I feel like this could be very metaphoric for something. Like the machine could be some sort of like a media machine, like paparazzi maybe, or like a money-making machine. In the industry, music industry machine. I don't know, it could be metaphoric in that way, but she made me touch the machine. New murderer. Maybe like him touching the machine gets evidence on the machine, therefore he becomes a murderer. He becomes done for the crimes that he hasn't committed. I don't know. It says here, the girl that kidnapped the guy made him touch the gun. Oh, so the gun is being called a machine. But why would the machine take pictures? Maybe just like gunshots and it's like taking pictures. I don't know. That's weird. Which means his fingerprints are now on the gun. With his fingerprints on the gun, he can be seen as the murderer. Yeah, which is exactly what I said. But interesting that the machine is the gun. I mean, it makes 100% sense, but then why say take pictures of us? It's got to be something weirdly metaphoric about that, right? Verse 2. First, untie me for now. You said you would, right? And you were right. Okay, so he's just saying untie me, yeah. And then in the bracket, soon I'll let you go, soon I'll let you go. So I guess that's the woman saying soon I'll let you go. And then it says, soon this will all be over. Well, I hope soon, she sang. So it's almost like she's in a scenario where she doesn't want to be there either. Like she doesn't want to be kidnapping. Maybe she's pushed into it in some way. I just feel like this is a huge metaphor. I can't help it because there's not enough context and it feels like they're beating around the bush, you know? And then the outro, soon I'll let you go, she sang. And it's like, but why? What is it? What's been done? I need to know. Getting so annoyed. Okay. It says here, Chino Moreno sings here from the perspective of a person who has been kidnapped. He explained on Deftones World, it's named after a Brazilian female, but it's lyrically about a kidnapping scenario. It details a few hours of being held captive. There's a lot of dialogue in there that was fun to write. Okay, well, great. You're not really giving me much, Chino. Or maybe I am just looking too deeply into it. You know, maybe I am looking a little too deep into it, and it doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be hidden meanings or anything like that. But it's just interesting. It's interesting that she's saying, I hope soon. Maybe she's crazy. Maybe she kidnapped him and she's a bit insane, you know, and she doesn't want to be kidnapping him, but it feels like she was compelled to do so in a sort of insane, delusional way. Who knows? But I liked it. But anyway, moving on. Next song we got is Digital Bath. Whoa. Nice, coming in with that big old drum moment. Like I want to. The song feels a lot cleaner so far. Like your eyes do. Wow. That's beautiful. Wow, I love this. The guitar. The little bend. Woo. Oh. It's almost alien, isn't it? I don't think I've heard him sing that high. I don't think. I love the chord progression. It's my favourite one so far. Yeah. Oh, that's fucking beautiful. That's fucking brilliant. That was amazing. Oh my god, I loved every minute. Loved every second. That was crazy. And it is a popular one. More popular than Back to School on this album. 72 million listens. I can see why. That is literally insanely good. I really like that one. I absolutely love the dynamics. I love that he did that. Like got up there with it. It felt so passionate and real. And the song felt sinister, but also what I absolutely love is the guitar work on it. It did something towards the end. It's like dun, 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 dun. I don't remember what it did, but it's like a really weird kind of chord that lifted up there, and it was so noticeable. But also the guitar, like the kind of lead guitar doing. Again, don't remember the melody, but I remember the kind of pitch bending and like the warmth of it. And like if you weren't listening properly, you wouldn't notice it. But you know, when you're really listening and once you know it, you can't unknow it. That guitar bit, I was just so excited to hear again the next time it came round. There's just so many hidden details in there that I can't wait to hear again. His voice and like the drum as well. So the drum was extremely clean and at the forefront. It wasn't really in the background and amongst like heavy distortion at all times. It was very kind of, you know, there and intimate with you, and rightly so. It's an intimate type of song. His vocals were intimate most of the time as well, apart from when he would break into the chorus again. I think I mentioned this on the last album, but like the dynamic, the dynamic. drink every time I say dynamic, I guess. He says, you move like I want to see like your eyes do. We are downstairs where no one can see. New life break away. I don't know why, but maybe because I listened to the song as well already. But it's kind of creepy, right? I feel like it's kind of sinister in the sense of like, I want to be you so much that I might actually skin you and wear you. Maybe I'm reaching, but already that, I don't know. I guess because I've just heard the sound as well, I got that kind of creepy feel. I don't know, let's carry on. And then he says, tonight I feel like more, tonight you make the water warm, you taste foreign. Like maybe he's eating the person, maybe he's consuming them to feel like them, you know? I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying it's weird. And it says, I know you can see the cord break away. And maybe that's like the mortal cord, like maybe like, you know, like the mortal coil. Is that a thing? Maybe sort of like life, you know, between life and death, the cord's breaking away. You are watching your life disappear in front of you. I don't know. And then he's saying, because tonight I feel like more. And in a weird way, imagine he's eating this person. Sorry, it might not be anything to do with this, but just let me go with this. Like, imagine he's eating this person and he's like, oh, I feel like more because there's another person inside him. So there's more of him. There's more personalities. There's another soul inside him or something. You bathed. No, you breathed. Then you stopped. I breathed, then dried you off. Maybe you breathed, you know, you were breathing, then you stopped breathing because I killed you, and then I ate you. I breathed and I dried you off. Maybe he dried himself off because he is now them, the other person. I don't know if I just come up with a really creepy... Well, I don't know. I think I've come up with something quite creepy here, but let's see. It could actually be something quite like romantic. Do you know what I mean? If I go back to it, maybe it's like you move like I want to, you see like your eyes do. Maybe, you know, I want to be like you in like a nice way, you know? I want to be nice. I feel like more when I'm around you. When I'm around you, I feel amazing. You know, you make the water warm. You taste foreign, you know? Who doesn't want to make the water warm, you know? You don't want to be in a cold bath or something. No, you want it warm. You taste foreign. I guess that's kind of saucy, I guess. I know you can see the cord break away. Maybe the cord is a bad thing. I don't know. Let's just read into it, okay? Upon first listen, Digital Bath is a hauntingly beautiful song that could be played during a late night cruise. One critic says, Digital Bath, Knife Party, and Change are all defined by the ghostly samples in the background that perfectly match Chino's vocals and the wonderful harmonic phrasing on those songs. Diving further into the song, however, we learn that it's actually about luring a girl into a bathtub, killing her with an electrical device, and then dressing her back up. Oh, so I was close. I'm not a maniac. Well, I am. But I'm not too crazy, you know. So that's interesting too. Killing her with an electrical device, like chucking a toaster in, so like the cord could be something to do with, you know, the electrical stuff as well. And then dressed her back up, you know, like dried her off and dressed her back up. I kind of like my story a bit better, if you want to go really creepy. But I like this story too. I'm just glad that it kind of makes sense to what I was saying in some ways. The song itself, it took the lyrics out of it, and you listen to just the melodies in a song, you wouldn't think that would be a violent song. It's a prettier, spacier song. Yeah, there was a little bit where I was like, oh, it's kind of like Alien, because he said something like, you make the water warm, you taste foreign. And when I just thought of foreign, I thought of like aliens for a minute, and there was a little bit like spacey alien sounds in that moment as well. Chino has also said, it was probably 5 in the morning, we were still up partying, and I just pictured this whole scenario of having this girl bringing her downstairs and taking a bath, and like out of nowhere just reaching back and electrocuting. Basically throwing some kind of electrical device in the bathtub and then taking her out of the bath and drying her off and putting her clothes back on. Okay, can you imagine just being at a party and being like, maybe he's even looking at the girl there at the party and being like, you know what I'd like to do to you, pretty girl? I'd like to take you downstairs and give you a nice warm bath. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a toaster in that bath and you're going to electrocute yourself and die. But don't worry though, because I'm going to dress you up real nice and no one will know a thing. I'll plop you down on the couch and I'll put a drink in your hand and I'll sit beside you and I'll be kissing on you. Okay, no, I'm making it really weird, but sorry, but do you know what I mean? Can you imagine even just thinking this and being like, maybe I'll write a song about that. Yeah. Okay, Chino, okay. He says here too, it sounds morbid or whatever, but every word fit in every crevice of the song. It just worked. When I was done with it, I even thought, why the hell did I write that? It just crossed my mind. It's not anything I want to do or hope to do. Yeah, right, Chino. We all know the little menace you really are. No, I'm only joking. No, it is a cool song. It makes an awesome song, so I can't complain. Okay, next one is called Elite. Fancy. Okay, we've got a bit more of a... Oh yeah. Proper screaming it. It's quite a fry tone actually. Oh, like a robot vocal. The way it pulls you in and then pushes out. Nice. Doesn't even sound like Chino, is it? Oh. Little hold back just to throw you in. You're a bit out of control. Yeah. Oh. A lot of that sounded like a delay. Oh, that was really good. Oh, I loved that at the end. Oh, God, I loved that at the end. Oh, just like, oh. What a weird song. like, I'm like, I loved it, but what a weird song. Like, really cool and really weird. Like, that whole robot bit, I feel like that does have something to it, because a lot of the things you were saying was like, you like attention, it proves you're alive, stop parading your angels. Confused, you'll know when you're ripe. Oh, it's like, you'll know when you're ready, you'll know. And like, you know, when you're ripe, you'll bleed out of control, because when you think of a ripe fruit, it's juicier, isn't it? So it's like saying, if a person's ripe, they'll be bloodier. Yes, but I wonder what that means though, like when you're ripe and you're ready to be real. Oh yeah, maybe that's it. When you're ready to be real, you'll kind of, you'll be uncontrollable. All of the emotions will just fall out of you basically. Because he also says something like, you're into depression because it matches your eyes. Stop the foe to be famous. So stop being fake, you know? So maybe when you're real, you will bleed out of control. But I also looked at this weird thing as like, when you're ripe, you'll bleed out of control, as in like, maybe you will just, if you look at it as this way, basically, like someone who so desperately wants to be famous, but it's all like this pushing and trying. But when you stop trying, that's when you will bleed out of control. That's when you will get the limelight. That's when you'll get the fame, when you're more genuine, when you're not trying so hard, then you'll get what you want. But then you're pregnant with all this space. So it's like you're pregnant, like, you know, with all this space, like thick with honey, but I lost my taste. That's interesting. What does that mean? You're pregnant with all this space? Because obviously when you say pregnant, I mean that you are fertile, you are full, you are, you know, there's something in you. And then, but it's all just space, you know, it's just air, gas, you know, like gassing yourself up. It's not real. You're pregnant with fakery. Yeah, let me click on that and just see what it says. And it was oh yeah, and that's what I wanted to say, sorry. Did I already say it? But I was saying I was thinking a robot voice came from the fact that he's talking about someone being fake, and it was like a robot voice because robots aren't human, you know, and so they're very flat. It's fake, you know what I mean? Pretending to be human. Anyway, people who simply have too little to do, those who are unemployed or on disability, etc., often become depressed when they're alone with their thoughts. Oh, hell fucking yeah, bitch. Ironically enough, people who you'd expect to crack under the pressure of having too much responsibility and stress in their life often manage to keep it together, at least for a while, because they simply don't have the time to think about stuff that's not immediately important. Okay. Oh, that changes things a little bit, yeah. You're pregnant with all this space. Oh, you have all that space. Too much space to think, and so on. And then, but then he goes, thick with honey, but I lost my taste. Like, thick with, like, sweetness. Like, to actually have time off from working or something. There's lots of things you can enjoy, but he's lost his taste because it's like, I don't even know what I enjoy anymore because I've just been working so hard, and now what? Now what do I even like? I've lost my taste for the pleasures in life. I'm just a workhorse, basically. A work white pony. So, yeah, interesting. And then when you're ripe, you'll bleed out of control. I'm just clicking that line. It says, this line comes as a shock to begin with, but when considered with the verses, ripe is a metaphor for being vulnerable or in serious trouble. The person Chino is addressing is constantly complaining about how bad their life is, even though it is relatively comfortable. If they were actually in a miserable or bad place, ripe, they would bleed out of control because things could be so much worse. Oh, so it's really like kind of telling someone, you know, like when you're really down, you'll know. But you just think you're really down, but you're not. If that makes sense. And obviously it's not right to tell anyone if they're up or down or whatever. But I do understand where he's coming from, because he's coming from a place of where he's seeing people in real shit, you know, whether it be poverty or disability or addictions or, you know, grief and so on. And then there's someone going, oh, I feel down, even though they've got a very comfortable life. It could be a little bit like, have you not looked around you? You know, it could be worse. It also says here, going along with the theme of the album, this could also be about a teenager. When you're ripe is referring to the age that a woman begins to ovulate. Bleeding out of control would then refer to her period. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's about that. I mean, he did just sing about putting a woman in a bathtub and killing her. So he could just be there screaming about periods too. I don't know why that would be the case though. I feel like the other bit made a bit more sense. I like the creativity there though. So this song harkened back to their band's previous style of searing vocals coupled with heavy, distorted guitar riff that drives this song. Most reminiscent of the earlier songs such as Head Up and My Own Summer. Yeah, true. It did give me Around the Fur kind of vibes, for sure. The enhanced CD physical release showcases an edited rehearsal of the song, as well as a full-length rehearsal which can be viewed after completing Joystick, a game portion of the enhanced material. The game plays similarly to Pac-Man, with the player controlling the white pony on the cover artwork and avoiding the heads of the Deftones members while collecting music notes to a MIDI of My Own Summer's verse riff. The full-length clip is shown after beating the 6th level. It also provided the band with their only Grammy Award up to this point, winning for the Best Metal Performance at the 43rd Annual Grammy Awards in 2001. Oh, that's cool. Nice. All right. Bit of history about it. I'm still like wanting to like go into it more, but I'm like, oh, I don't know what else to say. To me, like I said in the first phase, it felt like I kind of was touching on what it was about someone being fake, and then once they are being genuine, you know, then they'll really know, and then things will be different. And you know, I don't know. It's nice that you can interpret the lyrics in lots of different ways. I actually find the lyrics on this album so far way more easier to interpret than the Around the Fur album. I'm not going to speak for the rest of the album, but yeah. All right, next one is called RX Queen. Ooh, it's like thunderous. I like that. Kind of sexy. I love that radio. I love how he goes to that note. Ooh, very 9 Inch Nails, this song. Almost sounds like a buzzing, doesn't it? High-pitched buzzing, like. Very interested in what that one's all about. Okay. Yeah, the first thing I want to say before I forget is the dum 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 dum. The sound of that and the notes used in that makes you think of like a, I don't know, like a spy TV show, you know what I mean? Like, and not like a super serious spy TV show. It feels like a, you know, almost like it could be a kid's one. Not saying that the song sounds childlike, but like the dum bum bing doesn't sound serious. It almost sounds like a mystery sort of dum bing. I don't know. Like you can imagine it being played on like a show. Yeah, the lyrics seemed a little bit like fantasy in a weird way, but then mixed in with something very real, like talk about viruses and stuff. I won't stop following you. Now help me pray for the death of everything new. Then we'll fly farther. I won't stop following you. I don't know who you is. Maybe the girl that he refers to in the chorus. But then he says, now help me pray for the death of everything new. So maybe he doesn't like change and all the new things coming about, maybe in the music industry or just in his life in general. He's like, let's pray for the death of things being new and stay in this bubble and we'll fly farther away, maybe out into space, because then he talks about we'll stop to rest on the moon. And then obviously he says, because you're my girl and that's all right, if you sting me I won't mind. And that could just be looked at in a way of like, you know, I love you too much. You can use, abuse and do what you want to me, I won't mind because I just love you too much sort of thing. But yeah, verse 2, we'll stop to rest on the moon and we'll make a fire. I'll steal a carcass for you and then feed off the virus. Like, that's interesting. Like, what does that mean? And like, he'll find a carcass, so some sort of like, you know, dead creature on the moon or something. He won't hunt anything. He'll just like, he'll be like a vulture, a scavenger, because vultures don't actually ever kill their prey. They only ever scavenge, a bit like some particular hyenas and stuff like that. I think all hyenas are like that, but I'm not entirely sure. He's almost like looking at himself as not someone who's a hunter-gatherer, but more of a scavenger, which is interesting. And he says, then feed off the virus. Like, what is the virus that he's referring to? Is it one that, is he slowly wanting to kill himself? Or is it just a weird thing to say? You know, is it just kind of creepy and strange to say? I don't know. Let's have a look. Just says here, these lines are a testament to how unhealthy in love that Chino is with this woman. Well, yeah. To the point that he would steal a dead body and infect himself with disease. This could also be a metaphor for their relationship itself, as it's so unhealthy that staying in it is toxic for him. Oh yeah, so maybe he's just saying it like a separate thing. I'll steal a carcass for you, then feed off the virus, you know, feed off the virus that is you, the toxicity of this relationship. Oh, and we'll stop to rest on the moon and we'll make a fire. Could also be a metaphor for he's decided to get high with her. Being in a space is a metaphor for being high. Making a fire could be referring to them destroying things or fighting with each other. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it's kind of like, you know, we can get high together, but then we start arguing, and he's saying, I would do anything for you. I'd even steal a dead body for you. And I'll keep feeding off your toxicity. I see a red light in June, and I hear crying. You turn newborn baby blue. Now we're all the virus. Oh, it's almost like she has killed someone and he will like, you know, found the carcass and would discard of that dead body, would hide it for her. But now maybe he's got angry. I see a red light in June, so maybe he's seeing red and he kills her. And this, you know, woman turns newborn baby blue. I wonder what that's got to do with it. Like newborn, obviously you don't want a blue baby, because it could be not good. But also he said he wanted the death of everything new earlier in the song. That's weird to me. And then he says baby blue, and then obviously with postnatal depression, not actual postnatal depression, because baby blues is a big part of when you have a baby, and it's not postnatal depression. It doesn't last as long, and it's not as damaging. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. And then he says now we're all the virus, because he has been feeding off her as she's the virus, you know, feeding into her toxicity and whatever. But now that he's killed her, he is also toxic. Could be that. Right, let's see what is in the About section. Featuring an uncredited Scott Weiland on additional vocals in the chorus. That was a hard sentence to say. Featuring an uncredited Scott Weiland on additional vocals in the chorus. Bloody hell, that just doesn't feel right. The song delves into staying in a relationship that ultimately hurts both people involved. The protagonist's girlfriend is addicted to prescription drugs, and while it pains him to see her in that state, he helps feed her addiction, buying more to keep her satisfied. Ooh, yeah, the carcass, and it could be just more of these drugs and it being the virus being addiction. Very cool. By the end of the song, the girlfriend is killed when she overdoses, leaving the protagonist with nowhere to go but to reminisce on the memories of his time with her. Okay, yeah, very sad. But then just that like little bit about the red, seeing red in June and stuff, makes me feel like he killed her. But maybe he, in some weird way he did, because he kept giving her the drugs that she so needed. You know what I mean? So in some ways he feels like he did. I don't know. But God, it's hard, right? Yeah, all right, anyway, next one is called Street Carp. Let's go. Wow. That is so cool with the drums. Wow! Run it down! Get it! Oh, fade out! That is interesting. Wow, it was quite a short one, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 minutes 41. Ooh, yeah, I just had to close my eyes with that one because, like, I get really tired eyes very easily, especially when I do these videos. I just get, like, I talk so much that I just tire myself out really quickly. And it's only been an hour, but honestly, if I'm in a social situation and if I haven't had alcohol, I get so tired. Within like 1 hour, I'm like, oh, time to go. Literally. But yeah, so I just had to close my eyes and listen. And then also when I close my eyes, I don't just, because sometimes when I'm reading the lyrics as I go, it's a little bit stressful. So when I just listen and pick up what I can, I pick up more as well, and it's just nice. But anyway, yeah, that drum pattern in the chorus, it was like, and it's really just like, it's not exactly changing the tempo. I don't know if I don't think it is at all, but it's doing like, you know, lots of drums. You got the snare in there, the then it goes into just a, so it's just like one drum following the chords, you know, and then it'll come back in with the, you know, with the snare again. I don't know, it was just really like, oh, really nice to listen to. Oh, again, just adding to the movement, and then you get the fast, you know, kind of punky in a way as well. Like, oh, yeah, get it out. Interesting. It sounds like he's, like, without looking deeply into the lyrics, it sounds like he's talking to a girl that is a little bit mad, you know, a little bit like crazy and so on, but he is inviting her over to his new address. Maybe he had to move house because this woman, you know, would come to his door being crazy, but now he's in a place where he just was like, he's kind of destructive and he doesn't care, and he's like, come over. But I don't remember what the, you know, the number of it is, because it's still new. Like, oh, what's the number of the place? Write it down so I don't forget. And maybe he's high, or maybe whatever, so he's more forgetful, or maybe it's showing his discare. Like, I'll come over if you want. It's almost like this, he tried to get away from this person, but now he's so depressed that, and they keep trying, and, you know, maybe he misses them in a weird way as well. I don't know. I might go to the about section and have a look if anything's said. The song is from the lead singer's point of view. Chino sees somebody in person that he used to associate himself with, an ex-girlfriend or an old fling perhaps. In the past, this girl was a pest, constantly creating conflicts and annoying him. Just an obnoxious person that he couldn't shake. Chino isn't sure if he wants her to re-enter his life and is hesitant to give out his information so they can reconnect. In the end, after all of the pestering, he breaks and just gives it to her. Yay! I got it right, and I really barely looked at the lyrics as well. I was listening to them, of course. But it is now a boy who cried wolf scenario, who gave the wrong address once, and she believed him, and well as the second time, the third time, however, she argues with him and tries to convince her that he's being honest. Chino snaps, they bump heads, and the cycle starts over again. A carpfish. A carp is a fish that is undesirable to eat or touch. That means a street carp, in this instance, is likely a promiscuous girl. Yeah, it makes sense. I really like the sound of that one. And the lyrics are really interesting. I like the whole 665, no, is it 664? I love that. And you kind of like are wondering if you'll ever say 666. I don't know why, maybe that's just me, but I was like going, is it going to lead to 666 and have something around that? I don't know, that's maybe just a weird thought. But yeah, anyway, moving on, Teenager, and I think I'm going to do what I did again and just chill, keep my eyes closed. I've just taken some paracetamol and some joint pain medication. So hopefully that kicks in soon, because I've got a headache and I'm aching, and obviously that makes you not feel great. So yeah, anyway, Teenager. Oh, we got the spacey sounds again. That is really gorgeous. His voice is really, really good. What a beautiful tone. Wow, all those sounds, those effects. Wow. So weird looking. Oh God. Ooh. See, it feels like a love song. It feels like something sweet, but there's still something unnerving about it. Like the... I could see like a black tunnel, right? Just like a black long tube, right? And then those sounds. The sound is very like a not off-white, but like a more very pale grey, right? And it's like, imagine like a puff of smoke, right? But imagine the puff of smoke doesn't have any like details. It's just like a whip. Like when you get a cloud of smoke, you can't see details. So imagine it as mist, I guess. So it'd be like each, like depending on what the shape of it, you know, whatever the tone was or how long it was or the pitch of it was, it would have a different size shape. So imagine it was like, that would be like a shape that is like this, you know, just imagine it like that. I can't do what I want to do. It's more square, but it's like, and then the other one would be like a bit longer, and then, so, you know, we squeeze long, you know, normal, and it's all going around this black tunnel, moving, going, you know, going around the tunnel, So that was interesting to look at. I always feel like that sort of sound also sounds like when you've got an electric toothbrush and you brush your teeth and you're like, wow, you know? Just doing the cutting in it is great. But, and then you've got the warm sort of record player guitar, boom, 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 boom. It almost sounds like an old-fashioned sound as well. I don't know. And then you got his beautiful vocals that just sit like on top of it as well, just very like, oh, just really, really quite beautiful and soft and gentle. And I love that he can do that as well as the crazier stuff. So that's what I was seeing in it. But let's have a look at what is said. I climbed your arms, then you pulled away. New cavity moved into my heart today. Ooh. Well, in a way, it's like, you know, I climbed your arms. Maybe it almost gives the other person, like the person he's talking about, this authority, you know, that they are bigger than him, and he's climbing their arms to, like, you know, reach for like that affection, but they pulled away. And a new cavity moved into my heart today, so maybe a new hole in the heart, a new bit of pain. You know, my heart broke a little bit more from that. The more she sings, the more it seems. Now, oh, now I'm through with the new you. Now I'm through with the new you. Again, going on about new, wanting the death of things that are new. Maybe he doesn't like what this person has become. They're not affectionate anymore. They don't show him love in a way that he wants, and he's through with it. He wants to break up with the new version of this person, and but he's not through with the old version. So it's kind of sad. You drove home, then you moved away. New cavity moved into my heart today. Oh, so he drove home after like a night where they were together, but then she didn't just drive home, she moved away. That's just so sad. The more I screamed, the more it seems now I'm through with the new you. Oh, okay, so that's the whole song. That's really fucking sad. I'm really glad that in a way this vulnerable type of song, you know, did match up with the sound and so on. And the fact that the song was called Teenagers gives me the impression that this is like a first love situation. This song is about how Chino fell for this girl, how she ignored him and didn't return that love, and how this killed him inside. Written by Chino when he was only 15. It's one of the first songs that displayed Deftones' new direction in the early 2000s, as it has a strong elements of both shoegaze and trip-hop influences. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have actually said anything about shoegaze or trip-hop when I was listening to it. I guess I was just really watching it play out, so I wasn't really thinking about the genre. I just knew it was a softer song. This is often viewed as a spiritual predecessor to Lucky You from their self-titled album. Honestly, the song's sad. It's making me, like, I actually feel sad. Like, after reading the lyrics into it more as well. Oh, it's just sad. Oh. And now when I think of the imagery I was getting with the tunnel, it's almost like the cavity in the heart, you know? And, like, all, like, the broken pieces around it. And this kind of like nothingness, and him like singing, because I could see him singing next to the record playing guitar. Like his voice was here and the guitar was here, right? I could feel it being like a little intimate moment on his like on like a carpet of this little record going round, and him singing right beside it. And then I could see this tunnel just to the left, just to the right, and it was spinning around. But he was in front of it. He wasn't getting sucked in or anything, but it was almost like something like his shadow, you know? And his shadow could have been like this dark tunnel with broken pieces all just kind of, you know, circling around him. I don't know. Oh, all right, okay. Next one was called Knife Party, but with no A in it, so Knife Party. Let's go. Ooh, nice chords. The progression's nice. Just 2 chords there. Kind of gives me around the fur a little bit, as in the album. Oh, got so much shivers. Ooh. Wow. The effects on his voice are actually just like no effect. Very clean, very dry and clean. That is cool. Kind of reminds you of I don't care where, just drive away. I can't remember. In this room, we can't touch the floor. We're all anemic. So go get your knife, and come in. Go get your knife, and kiss me. This song is got a very dark undertone. Wow. That's beautiful. Whoa. Oh, that one to me felt like the most saddest one. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like really dark and really sad. Like, and like the thoughts I was getting from it, like from the lyrics, I just have a feeling it could be about this, but without looking into it too far right away, in my head it felt like a, you know, trigger warning, I suppose, but it felt like a bit of a self-harm situation, and doing it with someone else, you know, let's do this self-harming thing together and float away together for a minute, and you are so sweet and misery loves company sort of sitch. But because he says stuff about like we are anemic here, and you know, being anemic is like not having enough iron, and then you can become anemic by not having enough blood, you know, sort of thing as well. But it's like we're anemic and sweet, you know, like there's two, I don't know, I don't fucking know, but it just made you feel a little bit like, it's a very emo kind of song when it comes to context, and yeah. He says, my knife is sharp and chrome, come see inside my bones. All of the fiends are on the block, I'm the new king, I'll take the queen, 'cause in here we're all anemic, and here anemic and sweet. Damn, let's have a click on that. When I click come and see inside my bones, it says here, the speaker is allowing his partner into his very being, showing her his inner demons. The two have made the ultimate connection human beings can make with another, exposure to each other's vulnerabilities. Thus she becomes his queen and he her king. And you know, it kind of made me think of like a weird blood kind of like swapping as well, some sort of weird, you know, when you're kind of like deeply in love in like a weird dark way, kind of ritualistic sort of sharing of the blood, and it being all kind of dark and dingy in a weird way. But anyway, I'll click on it because in here we're all anemic. The three main causes of anemia include excessive blood loss, excessive blood destruction. Yeah, of course. On another note, anemic also means listless or weak. Chino may be saying that they show inside their bones their secrets and feelings, only to bleed easily from the depth of cut because they are weak. Yeah, exactly. Like, as in here, we're all anemic and sweet, but maybe the sweet is like, you know, but we're sweet. We're like anemic, so we're very vulnerable, but it's sweet though. It's cool. Like, we're comfortable with that. We're fine with being open here, which is actually a kind of a beautiful thing. It kind of is. And if you look at this in a metaphoric way, it doesn't feel so bad, does it? Like, go get your knife and come in. Make sure that before you come in, you cut yourself open, metaphorically, and you let all those demons out and you show me who you are, and then you can come in, lay down, kiss me, and, you know, we can be vulnerable together. Oh my God, it's making me emotional. Oh no. I don't know what just hit me then. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, God. It's sad. Ah, what the hell? No. Oh, God, no. Okay, sorry. No. I really don't want to cry. I really don't want to. Oh, the tear, it's out. I didn't want this to happen. Not that I don't want to show emotions. It's not like that. I'm not going against what the song's saying. It's just, you know, I don't want to make a mess. Anyway. And plus, when I get going, it won't stop, and then it'll just be annoying. It just made me, oh, fuck. Oh, no. If I even try and say what I want to say, I'm going to cry. Oh, sorry, it just made me think of me and my partner, and those. Oh, God. We've both gone for a lot in life, and it can be, you know, going for a lot in life. You put walls up, and you feel a little bit like, you know. So I feel very lucky to be able to share vulnerable moments with him, and us together to feel we can let our demons out and just be free. For God's sake. Yeah, alright. Okay. Oh yeah, I haven't been crying a lot for a while, and then recently the tears have started coming out again, which is I'm happy about, because actually when I couldn't cry, that was fucking me up. So now it's all coming out. That's okay. That's all right. Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. I'm going to move on though, because I'm going to cry if I keep going on about what I was thinking and whatever. But anyway. Go get your knife, come in, yeah, all that. Okay, verse 2. I could float here forever in this room. We can't touch the floor. In a way, maybe that means he's high again, because he was talking about space earlier and that referring to being high. And he's saying, you know, I wish I could be like high forever and we don't have to touch the floor. We could just be living in this realm of like highness, you know? And we don't have to come back to reality when we are usually all very guarded and strong and don't let our emotions out. I want to be here in this warm moment where I feel free to, yeah. I'll click that. Oh, it does say blood loss leads to a light head, which is the point of the knife party, a cheap high. Okay, interesting. That's interesting as well. In both situations, being sliced and bleeding or kissing the girl he is allured by, he is feeling waves of euphoria. He feels as if he's in a dream sequence with her and never wants them to come down. Yeah, and again, like, it could go back to my original thought, which is very dark and so on, but also it could be more of a metaphoric bleeding out, you know, which is quite beautiful, actually, and made me cry, so... Wow, that song hit me really bad. Wow. Okay. Chino and Moreno, the frontman of Deftones, had this to say. It's a seductive song with a lot of violent imagery. People don't tend to like sex mixed with violence. The mid-section has amazing vocals from a girl called Rod Lean who worked next door to our studio. Yeah, she was... That vocal bit, I almost forgot about it. That really pained me as well when I was listening to it. It was so unique and out of this world and spiritual as well. It was, wow, very fantastic. The inspiration for the song was a strange party on the band's tour bus once where everyone had a knife from Abe's knife collection and was dancing around the bus with them. Chino then created an imaginary scenario from it about a secret knife society. I made up this fake scenario of some kind of underworld society of knives, people who just get off on these erotic fantasies or something like that, a knives wide shut kind of thing. Chino says, symbolically speaking, it is an intimate story where a man, in this case Chino, and a woman build their attraction. They either get high off each other's aura or with the use of drugs, which I also said. They both climax potentially in different ways and Chino's left wanting more. Oh, interesting. So even Chino's way of describing it's a little bit different to the descriptions I have mentioned before reading that. But in all the ways the song has like a darkness to it, a vulnerability to it, a beauty to it. It is really bittersweet, where it can feel very, like, it's anemic and sweet. So, wow. Okay, let's move on. That came out of nowhere, like a burst pipe. That's what I felt like. Fuck. All right, next one is called Korea. Guys. Okay, good. That feels better. Ugh. Wow. Wait, more? That's such a different sound. That's so different for them, I mean. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh yeah, I forget that Americans say niche rather than niche. Wow, I really thought that one sounded a little different. Just like, you know what I mean? It had a bit of a pop punky sound with the chords and so on. For, you know, a little bit, not overly, but that was interesting. It like brightened it somehow. Yeah, okay, interesting. I'm just gonna go to the about section. Korea is the 8th track. Oh, I've got my bloody glasses on again. It just says this was the first song we wrote for the record. It's a little heavy. It talks about the white pony, strippers and drugs. Okay, yeah, so I didn't feel like it had something, I didn't feel like it had anything overly detailed or deep about the lyrics, which I'm actually very grateful for, because after Knife Party, you know what I mean? That was already such a heavy hitter. Nice, okay. Yeah, I like that. I thought it was interesting, but I am going to move on because we're getting on in the videoing now. So yeah, anyway, next one was called Passenger. I think I've actually heard Passenger on, well, I know I have actually heard it. I've heard it on one of my song request videos that I do for Patreon. So I might try and cut it out the video, put it in this video. Do I just post it as a separate video? I don't know what to do. No, I'm gonna skip it and I'm gonna cut it into this video. It only makes sense. As soon as I click, the reaction to this song will be placed within this video. Sounds scary. Ooh. I felt like that would happen. Wow. Feels like a lot more refined than around the third album. Talking about driving again, like you did on around the third. That's cool. Anything. He's got more of that like metal tone that feels like Viking-like. You know, a bit theatrical. Ooh, I love the whispers. Ooh, it's so nice. That's cool. Wow. The vocals are actually quite fragile here. What tonight? Ooh, a breakdown. electronics. And then we're back into this dark kind of, you know. Ooh, scary. Interesting notes being played. Wow, that's interesting. Take me to the edge, and it just kind of like drives that same sound, you know? Dun, 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 dun. Like, yeah, weird. Ooh, and then this is like falling off the edge. Ooh, and then that, like, leaving with that piano, the spooky piano. Oh, that's actually really interesting. Like, it actually had like a spooky sound to it, rather than just like a, you know, like a metal and like kind of dreary sound and melancholy kind of sound. It also had, yeah, like full-on spooktacularness to it. So that was interesting. Oh, I'm going to read this about section here, as it's quite a big bit written out, so why not? The ninth song from the group's third album, White Pony. This slow-burning ballad is rife with metaphorical imagery and atmospheric musical arrangement. Absolutely. While Chino Moreno's symbolic lyrics are always freely up for interpretation, there are three common meanings. It's simply about sexual activity in a moving car. Absolutely thought that when I saw the you know, cushion for the knees, and now to calm me, take me round again, don't pull over this time, won't you please, drive faster. It just sounded very sexual. Drop these down, put them on me, I don't know, yeah, I was like, seems like something naughty's going on. Maybe that's what gave it like that, like in the verses, even though it was spooky, it was sensual as well. There was like a dark kind of sexiness to it, which I found interesting. All right, he is symbolically talking about willingly putting your life into someone else's hands and just being along for the ride. Ooh, that's another analysis of the lyrics too. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, and this quote, the third one, the third thing, and this quote is directly from Chino. I did this song with Maynard from Tool. Basically, I told him I wanted to create a scenario of being in a car and being taken for a drive when you don't really know what's going on. I wanted him to create a lot of imagery. He wrote a majority of the lyrics and left blanks for me to fill in. It seems like you're being held captive but enjoy what's going on. Bit of Stockholm Syndrome. Interesting. Okay, cool. So it's like a, you know, I get that on like lots of levels really, because there are times where you just don't want to make any decisions. Like if you're someone who makes lots of decisions, you follow, you lead things and whatever. Sometimes you want to go, can someone else please take the fucking reins, please? And then, you know, you just want someone to decide something for you so you don't have to think anymore and just enjoy it. Even if it feels weird, you want to just go, okay, yeah, let's do this. On some songs, there are new elements to be heard that are non-existent on the original version. In the original mastering stage, there may be some parts the band and producer were wanting to leave out or forgot to put in. After the final line of the song, there's additional vocal added from Chino. He has done this live in older shows, but it was not audible in the original record. Oh, that's interesting too. But anyway, I'll get more into the album when I actually react to it properly, but that was really okay, cool. Now we have got Change, and then in brackets, In the House of Flies. Okay, let's go for it. I like that. I watched you change. You are on fire. Yeah, you are on fire. It's like you never. I watched you change. Oh my god. Oh. Look at the cross. Damn, this is really nice. Oh. Look away. Give you the blow me away. So good. I really loved that. Fucking hell, that had 254 million listens. The way it moved, all of it. And it's the first song that I've really sang on and ad-libbed and improvised on. Really. You know, I've done a little bit here and there, but that's the first one I've really just gone, oh, I got lost in it and just wanted to sing and jam and be with the song. You know what I mean? So that was, I don't know, that was just really cool. It says here, one of a number of dense, sprawling epics, along with Pink Maggit and Passenger, which were far removed from the primal punch of past hits. Change in House of Flies was released as the first single from Deftones' third album, White Pony, in May of 2000. It remains their most commercially successful single to date. I can assure you I've never ever heard that song though, so that's interesting. Peaking at number 3 in the Billboard's Modern Rock Tracks chart, number 9 in the Mainstream Rock Tracks chart, and at 53 in the UK Singles chart. That's cool. The song was featured on the Much Music compilation about Big Shiny Tunes 5. Moreno has said, it's a metaphorical song. You could take it in the literal sense of me watching someone turn into a fly and taking them home with me and pulling off their wings and laughing. It spawns from me being a complete arsehole and getting a complete repercussion for it by having my life taken away. Yeah, because when the lyrics were going on, I was picturing it as a literal thing. Actually, throughout this whole album, the lyrics but on first, you know, listen and read, I'm taking it literally. I'm very much seeing the imagery in literal ways and then going, however the metaphor could be. And in this one, it does that perfectly. And I'm glad he said it here too. You could watch it like that if you want to. He's giving you the opportunity to do what you want and interpret it the way you want. He's not saying, no, I need it to be taken literally. He's being very liberal with how you interpret it, which actually I really like that. Yeah, I was kind of seeing him being mean and cruel to someone, taking away their wings and so on. Because he's obviously sang about other sadistic things on the record a little bit, but there's always a kind of bit at the end or something to it that's this wasn't a good thing, this is not what I'd actually do or whatever. So mean if you think about it. Just pulling off the wings. It's almost you know, you could think of it in a way as well, you know, there's someone who turned into a fly and it's oh my god, I could be free. Maybe the fly has a freedom to it, they just fly around, they're hard to catch, and you know, they go and do what they want, and then taking their wings is you know, it's a metaphor in that, isn't it? Taking their wings, taking their freedom. It's that is definitely sadistic. It's yeah, I don't know, it's really dark, but oh my god, the song sounded so good. All right, last song now, and it's Pink Maggit. So back to school, it said Mini Maggit, and this is Pink Maggit. Maybe Pink Maggit is that going to be the hip hop version of Back to School? Hip hop. I don't know. Right, okay, let me just play and see what happens. Because I was kind of confused at the start, wasn't I? About what the hell was going on. Well, it's definitely different. Oh, the chorus is actually, looking at it, it is the back to school chorus a bit. Okay. That has got so distorted. So slow paced. I wasn't expecting that. Beautiful. The distortion is literally insane. What? The effects, kind of a wall of sound, a little bit shoegazy in places, with the little, that effect, you know? So interesting having that whirring sound in there, because it's such a weird atmosphere. Oh, it sounds like a heartbeat. That's cool. It's actually a really cool ending on that. Does it go in? It sounds like it's like going to go into something else with that. No. Okay. What route? No. It felt like it could have gone into like another song, doesn't it? Oh god, the heartbeat at the end. That's so interesting. Transpose or stop it all, whatever it was. Wait, transpose or stop your life. And I guess I'm choosing to transpose because, you know, transpose means like change, right? Transpose means to change something's place or switch it with another. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like change or die. And then to hear that heartbeat at the end feels like he's chosen to change. And it's interesting because he was saying stuff about how he doesn't like new things. But in the end, you have to change to really live this life. I don't even know what to say. Like, I mean, I've got a million things to say, but that album was really strong. Around the Fur was very strong too, but I don't know why this one just made me like, took me to different levels, different places within myself. It was like really kind of emotional in parts, quite dark. And, you know, hearing the Back to School at the start, if that's what it's called again. Yeah. I'm just there like, back to school, kind of like, oh yeah, I know this one, yeah. Then at the end when you hear back to school, well, Pink Maggit, it's all like way more gloomy and feels a little bit more like, oh, you know. And it kind of makes sense because throughout the album you kind of are like, oh yeah, cool, oh yeah, that sounds good. And you slowly kind of get to a place of like, fucking hell, this is quite heavy. And I don't mean it in a bad way, and it's in a way that I really enjoy, to be honest. I am one dark lady. But no, oh God, I don't know. Digital Bath was definitely one of my favourites. Knife Party, even though it made me really sad, probably a favourite. Teenager was so beautiful. Obviously, Passenger is so good too. I absolutely love that. That one really shook me when I first heard it. Change was so good. It's funny that I do like the popular ones, I guess. But then that's the reason they're popular, because lots of people like them. They're likeable songs. But I love all of them. I don't know, Street Carp was cool too. I really liked the way that sounded. It was short but really cool. Damn, I just think I liked all of them. It's really hard to like choose. Just the whole experience was just what it was. I don't know, amazing and deep and beautiful and dark and interesting and sinister too, you know what I mean? It's just cool. Love all the tones and textures. I do like that they played with effects a little bit more on this one. Like in Around the Fur, the instruments are all very straightforward. They did their bits. The distorted guitar, the heavy drums, the vocals, you know. This one definitely had moments of more like, you know, interesting effects happening with a or like the spacey effects as well, like and then also that feminine vocal that comes in on Knife Party, was it? I think it was, which was just so stunning. Yeah, there was a lot of like differences in there, and it's not even say that they had to do that. It was just cool that they did. Because they've always done dynamic well within like drum patterns and riffs and different like, you know, guitar melodies and different vocal styles. I do like that on this one, some of the held back moments where you could hear his voice up and it was dry and clean and you could really hear his voice what it was without the kind of radio speaker kind of sound on it. That was so cool to hear as well, because it's nice to have a bit of both, isn't it? You know, you do want a bit of everything, and that's what they've really done in this album. They really have compacted their whole sound and then some into this album. I don't know, it was just really cool. Let me know what your favourite album is, Around the Fur or White Pony. Obviously there's other albums, but of those two, what would you say you like the most? And please do subscribe if you like this reaction, and like, comment, all those lovely things. And yeah, consider being a Patreon. But anyway, other than that, I shall see you next time. Bye!